Imagine a world where a woman upon the death of her husband is expected to join him on his funeral pyre. This horrific scenario was a harsh reality for many widows in ancient India, victims of a practice known as sati. This essay aims to explore the dark history of sati, examining its origins, cultural context, and the fight for its abolition. It is a journey through a grim chapter of human history, one that reminds us of the importance of critical thinking, compassion, and the relentless pursuit of justice. The practice of sati, while often associated with Hinduism, is not mandated by Hindu scriptures. It was, however, practiced in some communities as a means of upholding societal norms and controlling women's lives, even in death. This essay seeks to shed light on this complex issue, separating myth from reality and providing a nuanced understanding of a practice that continues to haunt our collective memory. Sati, derived from the Sanskrit word sat meaning truth or good, ironically represents a practice far removed from these virtues. It refers to the act of a widow self-immolating on her husband's funeral pyre, a practice prevalent in ancient India, particularly among certain Hindu communities. This gruesome ritual saw women, often coerced and manipulated, sacrificing their lives in the name of societal expectations and religious interpretations. The practice was often glorified as the ultimate act of wifely devotion, with the widow being hailed as a sati, a virtuous woman who proved her loyalty to her husband even in death. However, the reality was far more sinister, often involving coercion, manipulation, and even physical force to compel widows onto the pyre. The glorification of sati served to mask the brutal reality of the practice, silencing the voices of countless women forced into a fiery demise. The origins of sati can be traced back to ancient India, though its exact genesis remains shrouded in mystery. Some scholars link it to the Vedic period, citing ancient texts that mention widows ascending their husband's funeral pyre. However, these accounts lack the horrific details associated with later practices, suggesting a possible evolution of the ritual over time. Others argue that sati gained prominence during the medieval period, influenced by societal norms that emphasized a woman's dependence on her husband. In a patriarchal society where women held limited rights, widowhood was often viewed as a curse, leaving women vulnerable to exploitation and ostracism. Sati, in this context, became a means of controlling widows, ensuring their subservience even in death. Section 4. The agony of enforced sacrifice. The reality of sati was far removed from the romanticized notions often portrayed. Widows forced onto the pyre faced unimaginable suffering. Often drugged or physically restrained, they were denied any agency over their own lives. The pain of losing a loved one, compounded by the horror of being burned alive, paints a grim picture of the physical and emotional torment these women endured. The practice also had devastating consequences for families, particularly children who lost their mothers to this cruel tradition. The trauma inflicted upon families torn apart by sati reverberated through generations, leaving behind a legacy of pain and loss. The human cost of this practice, often overlooked in historical accounts, serves as a stark reminder of the need to prioritize human dignity and compassion over archaic traditions. Section 5. A Beacon of Hope, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. The fight against sati gained momentum in the 19th century, spearheaded by social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy. A scholar and advocate for social justice, Roy recognized the inherent injustice of sati and tirelessly campaigned for its abolition. He challenged traditional interpretations of religious texts, arguing that they did not sanction the practice and highlighting its barbaric nature. Roy's efforts, combined with the growing awareness among British colonial authorities about the horrors of sati, led to its ban in 1829. This landmark legislation marked a turning point in the fight for women's rights in India, challenging deeply entrenched patriarchal norms and paving the way for further social reforms. Roy's legacy serves as a testament to the power of one individual's commitment to justice and the transformative potential of social activism.